Hi, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Fatal Frame 3, The Tormented, for the PlayStation 2. This is also available on the PlayStation Network. I can't remember if Fatal Frame... Did I say... I think I did say Fatal Frame 3. I'm thinking I said Part 2 because of the PlayStation 2. Whatever, ADD's a bitch. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, today we're playing Fatal Frame 3, The Tormented, on the PlayStation 2. I don't know if it was available on the Xbox. I know the director's cut of Fatal Frame 2 was available on the Xbox, and that's considered one of the scariest survival horror games of all time. I guess I played everyone now that I'm playing this one, but I played the first two. It's an eclectic game, but if you like survival horror games, I would recommend this. It isn't the easiest game to find. The cheapest I saw was $30 used, so it's somewhat of a pricey game. So, one good thing about this being on the PlayStation Network, and I hope they do it with other games that are hard to find and are super expensive, because instead of being able to enjoy the game, people look at games like baseball cards and charge you what they think they're worth. By the way, depending on where you're from, this might actually be called Project 03. The Fatal Frame series is called Project Zero in different regions, so just a heads up. You might be saying, what is he talking about? This is not called Fatal Frame 3 or whatever native lung. I meant to say native tongue, but I was trying to hold back burping into the microphone because I just drank soda, and anyway, that's really embarrassing. But I was gonna say whatever native tongue you speak in, you'll be like, that's not Fatal Frame, it's Project Zero. That's why. I don't know if this is the US is the only country it's called Fatal Frame in or not. I always liked in other regions that the PlayStation 2 games came in blue DVD cases. The cutscenes look pretty nice too, I have to say. The sound's a little bit weird in this game. It sounds like people are talking in a tunnel. There's like a weird echo. But you take pictures of ghosts essentially. I don't want to show the cutscenes because that'll drag the video on, and you want to discover the story for yourself, because since this is a survival horror game, that's one of the main things that you do in that type of game. So this is played from a third and first person view perspective, and the object of the game is not only to survive and discover things, but also to take pictures of ghosts, which is how you defend yourself, because it takes their soul or something creepy like that. I haven't played the Fatal Frame series in a long time. This is the second time I've played this since I bought it. I bought it like a week ago, and I only played it for a short amount of time because I am backlogged in these games. I'm not bragging. I'm kind of embarrassed, like how I keep on seeing things and obsessively getting them. It's not cool because it's just like, oh, it's bad when you're like, when you see a game and you forget that you already own it, and you're like, oh, I have that game, I just haven't played it yet. It's ridiculous, but you know, it's what keeps me going right now, and I guess it's good for the channel, and I guess it's good when I'm broke and I can't buy any more games. I'll have a pretty extensive library. That's the way I'm justifying it anyway. Let me take a sip of this wonderful Diet Pepsi. I hope they don't sue me before I start, and I'll try not to burp into the microphone, and all will be great. My allergies are really bad, and sipping on like something like to drink is actually helping, because my throat feels like it's coated with like pollen. It feels like somebody sprayed like poison ivy in my throat. So yeah, you can take pictures of the ghosts and you get points for them. This isn't really, I would say, the main part of the game. This is more like a little dream thing to get you acquainted with the controls, so it really doesn't matter what you do. That's why it has this weird black and white filter. This game kind of gets challenging because the ghosts kind of sneak up on you. And you gotta kind of take their picture before they disappear. You gotta be calm. But sometimes switching from perspectives can be somewhat disorienting, which can kind of get annoying. They actually had a spiritual successor of this game on the Nintendo 3DS that actually used augmented reality because the 3DS has the camera on it. I can't remember what it was called, but it seemed like it was cool. I never played it before. But I think that was like the latest game released here, at least. I heard something about a Fatal Frame game coming out on the Wii U, which seems appropriate for the kind of game it was. I mean, for the kind of system it is, because it has that touchpad thing, which I guess could be emulated as a camera. And I guess it's good for Nintendo that somebody's releasing something for the system. But I've said in other videos, I think honestly, I mean, it's too late now, and I think they should support the system because I feel bad for the people who bought the system and barely have any games to play, especially if that's their only go-to system. So I think you're supposed to die because I have no way to defend myself that I know of. Taking pictures doesn't seem all too effective in that particular segment. I played through this part of the game. It didn't save. My sister would love this game because she's scared of creepy kids, and there seemed to be a lot of little ghost kids in this game. It didn't save, and I stopped midway, so I don't actually know off the bat how you even save on this game. I remember playing the first Fatal Frame, and vaguely the second. I don't think I played the second all too long, because that's when I had the Blockbuster, when they still had Blockbuster Video Places, which is a rental store if you're not familiar with it. And I think you paid like $20 or $30 a month, and you could rent like as many games as you wanted for as long as you wanted for that month. And then there was like a slightly more expensive one where you could rent 2 at a time, and I think I had the 2 at a time one. So I would just rent games left and right. I think I rented every single. My goal wasn't actually to play the game. I think my goal was just to rent every single thing that Blockbuster Video had at that moment. So I never really got a good chance to play anything in its entirety during that time frame, which is a shame. I just have this thing when I'm renting a game. I feel like I'm on a timer. So I feel like if I'm not, like, my mind's blowing or something being blown or whatever, and I'm not enjoying myself like it's the greatest game ever, like, I gotta take the game back or I'm wasting money if it's on a timer. Now if you pay like a one-time fee or whatever, and that's the game you're stuck with, like the way Redbox does, until like the next day, then yeah, play it. But I feel guilty if I rent something and I'm not playing it. So like if you have the option to take it back and play something else, like I would do that. But this game, like a game like this, has a certain amount of pacing. It's not gonna be like mind-altering. Games like this are gonna be awesome as time goes on because this is a slower paced game. This game's not nearly as creepy with the sound down, I'll have to say. Let's play this game with the sound up. I don't fully understand what's going on, but I didn't get to give Fatal Frame 2 a fair shot. I think it's on PlayStation Network for like $3. One thing I don't like about PlayStation Network is you gotta at least spend $5, and I don't know what else I can find that's really cheap, so I'll wait till they have like a sale.
It was
because I don't want to just buy something just to buy it, you know, just so I can get one game. Because the other game's probably going to be more expensive because you rarely find any games that are like under like $5 or whatever unless they have a sale. So I'll wait till the next sale. Seems like they've been having flash sales almost like every other week though. So keep my fingers crossed. Tomorrow's Tuesday as of recording, so they'll have different discounts. So we'll see. I would like to get Fatal Frame 2 and give it the justice that it should have got the first time, because I heard that it's the best one. I haven't heard a lot about this game, but I think part of the issue is because I was like reading what people thought, because I couldn't find a lot of information on this particular one. You always mostly hear about part 2. It's because this game was somewhat rare. I think it came close to the... Well, PlayStation 2 was out for a while. Like, I think they just stopped making PlayStation 2s last year. But I mean, when PlayStation 2 was popular, like, I think this was like towards the end of its popularity before everybody started playing Xbox 360 and PlayStation 2. So I think this might have gotten lost in obscurity this way. I don't think they have it, but there's also a game I want to play called like Haunting Grounds, and there's another one that I can't remember what it was called, but I want to play it. And they're like rare games, and I hope they put it on PlayStation Network. I haven't checked on the PlayStation Network, but I'm pretty sure that these games aren't there. I'm a visual person, so I can't remember the name of the last game, but I could tell you what the cover looks like. It's like a girl and a dog, except that might be Haunting Ground. I don't know. This is a nice looking PlayStation 2 game, I might add. Doesn't have any crazy physics or destructibility, but I mean, it's a nice looking game. And I'm glad that that grainy filter's gone. The only thing I don't like about this is parts like these are kind of maze-like, but you really can't fault the game too much because of the setting. This is the way the structures of where she is actually are, like in Japan. Take that picture. I get nervous when you see a ghost. You want to take it really fast, but you know your thumb isn't going to be like super steady if you're rushing. But if you don't take the picture fast, then you're gonna miss out. And that's one of the actual challenges of the game, is to keep a steady aim while like being nervous and trying to rush at the same time, because some of the spirits are malevolent and will attack you, and you have to take pictures of certain spots of them in order to hurt them. So this is classic survival horror elements. Not a lot has changed besides the story elements in the Fatal Frame series. But I never got to play part 3, so I figured I'd start with part 3 first, and if I still liked it and it held up, I'd go back to part 2. I should have started at part 2, but I wanted to make sure I got part 3 since it's not the most common game in the world. And I figured it'd be the most rich with features, even though it feels like the same of the... Damn it. It feels just like the other Fatal Frame games. I don't know how much new stuff has been added to the third game. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I haven't played any of the games in a long time. And I got excited and I took a nice picture of the steps. Did I get her at all? Yeah. But I didn't get any points. This is like the survival horror version of Pokemon Snap for the Nintendo 64. If you don't know what that game is, you should look it up. It's a game essentially where you take pictures like on this on-rail ride, and there's Pokemon around. You can throw fruit at them and you can take a picture. It's actually kind of fun. And at the time, I'll bring up Blockbuster Video again. If you had your memory card and like saved all your pictures, you could go to Blockbuster Video, and they had like a little kiosk where you could put your memory card in and it would print out your Pokemon pictures that you took. Fortunately, due to the limitations of a Nintendo 64 cartridge. They didn't have all 150. Yes, back then there was only 150 Pokemon for all you kids out there. They didn't, well, 151, because I think the other Pokemon, like Toys R Us or whatever toy store near you, like had like a special thing where they had a little center that would unlock this rare Pokemon that could only be unlocked if you went to that specific store, and then you'd have 151. But technically when Pokemon first came out, there's only 150. I don't know how many Pokemon that there are now, but they're probably over 1,000. I would at least think, considering how many titles there are. Alright, I wasted my film, so that was a nice waste of time. I actually... Sorry. How come I can't see her? She doesn't look transparent and ghost-like. But I actually got Pokemon Y, because I do like the Pokemon games for their simplicity. Like, I didn't play Pokemon since like the old Game Boy ones, and I think I played the first one that came out for Game Boy Color, which is Gold and Silver. Gosh, that was all the way, I think, when I was still in middle school or high school. It might have been middle school, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. I think the second one came out when I was in high school. But some people are gonna think I'm really old, and other people are gonna think I'm really young, because the YouTube gaming crowd is kind of diverse. But I quit playing after that, and then when I got my 3DS, which I really like a lot. I have a Vita as well. I don't really show you guys games on it because they're really hard to film. Steve Benway and Classic Game Room has it down pat how they record stuff on the DS, but I can barely record on a TV with good results, so I have no idea what points do to help you out. Maybe if I read the text. I think I gotta go back, but I forgot how to get there. Maybe down these stairs. But when I got my 3DS, like, I was like, these Pokemon games look kind of fun. And I tried them, they still are. They're very simplistic, but if you like simplistic, they're very simple. And if you like simple RPGs and stuff, I don't care for the social aspect because I'm not a very social gamer. Like, I don't trade anybody for anything, so it doesn't matter what color you get. I mean, there's like always two versions of Pokemon. One has like a different Pokemon than the other, but most of the Pokemon are the same, but it's for the sake of like trading Pokemon with your friends or whatever on playground, which you shouldn't have a DS on the playground because you're probably going to get sand in the cartridge slot, and then your parents are probably not going to be too pleased about that. I think nowadays I think the DS, you don't need like a cord. It can just go through the Wi-Fi or whatever. But when I was a kid, when you traded Pokemon, you had to use a cord, a link cable to link your Game Boys up. We used to play Tetris on the link cable, which is really fun. If you never did it, if you're like a retro gamer and you have two versions of Tetris, and most of you retro gamers I know usually have more than one Game Boy, Like, play Tetris with a friend. There is nothing more fun than playing Tetris on the Game Boy, 2 players with a friend, because they can't see your screen and you can't see theirs, but you can see their faces. It's not like playing online with somebody. And it is the most hilarious thing when you like get like 4 lines down, it'll go on the other player's screen that you're like fighting or playing against. And I'm not even talking about this game. That's probably why I'm not getting anywhere. But that's the most hilarious thing, to like get a bunch of blocks and you're just waiting for your friend's facial expression while they're about to get like a shitload of extra blocks. That is the most hilarious thing ever. It's a blast. That's probably, there's very few multiplayer games on the Game Boy, but I have to recommend that. And I'm sure you guys probably have multiple things of Tetris. You should try it. I think it's hilarious though how short Nintendo made the link cable. If you like to have your personal space, like, I highly suggest looking into getting an extended link cable if they actually make those, because the Nintendo link cable is really short. Unless you play like across on a small table or something, I don't know.
Where did he go?
That right there, I know would have creeped my sister out beyond belief. Understand battle controls. This is her running, I think. Yeah, she runs pathetically slow. Alright, so I soaked up some of this ghost soul. I don't like how they disappear, because then I can't tell where they are, and it takes me a few seconds to even have an idea of where I am. Apparently I didn't get her good enough that time. Okay, I realize I'm being shaked. I'm not very good at this game right now because I'm not used to playing it. Wait for her to appear. It's probably not the best time. Oh shit. I know, like, that, in my opinion at least, that should have counted as taking a picture. There's probably a trick to figuring out where they're gonna be. I just don't know it. That took some points away. Get away from me. Where's your little piece of shit kid? That's close. This is like the most long, drawn-ass, boring battle ever, but it's fun from my perspective. I think it only hurts them when all of a sudden those little circles appear. I'm wasting film like crazy. I think you have limited film. I don't know. I think you can hold the button down and suck out more energy. That's what she said. She's super weird who said that, but she said it. Well, I'm holding the button down and that just took a picture, so maybe you don't hold it down. Maybe you just gotta hover over the area for a long time. Just die already. I know I'm not doing something right. probably should have read the instructions, but I feel like it's not appropriate to read them right now since I'm being attacked by malevolent spirits that just shake you really hard. Don't you die? I'm doing something wrong. There has to be a way to recharge or charge up the thing so it's actually powerful. I'm glad you can walk through the damn things though. When you run around in a circle, my controller is vibrating. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. I don't know if that's supposed to be our heart or what. Give me more health. Or I have to collect it in a container. Being shaken up violently apparently takes a lot of health though. Do I get anything for that? Apparently not. I think this game has connection to the other game, but I haven't played the other games in so long I can't tell you what it is. And if I did tell you what it is, even if I knew, I'd probably get people bitching about spoilers, so I guess that's bittersweet. I don't know. I could totally see getting into this game. I did get into the first one before I got into the spoiled rent something every day because Blockbuster's less than a mile away from the house pass where I could rent all the time. I would literally rent 3 different games in the same day, even if I had the rent one at a time pass. It was quite nuts. Alright, I get it. They're coming very slow. This game is all about shit coming at you very slow. I think this game would terrify my sister beyond belief though. She came over for Mother's Day, like when my mom came over, and I was like, she comes into the game room or whatever, I was like, I'm gonna play this game, but she never did, so I didn't do it. I was like, I'm gonna play it right in front of her, so I can probably give her the creeps, even though they're PlayStation 2 polygonal characters, will do the trick.
Let me sleep forever.
This girl sure does dream a lot. I thought I was actually there. I wonder if she keeps the items that she's acquired in her dreams. That'd be weird. It'd be like a Nightmare on Elm Street where she's grabbing the items. Oh, I'm pretty stoked. I got Never Sleep Again, the 4-hour Nightmare on Elm Street documentary of the whole series, and there's even a bonus disc, and I watched it a long time ago. It's literally 4 hours, and it's freaking awesome. And that's one of my favorite movie franchises, horror movie franchises. Even though they never scared me, I just love the concept, and I love Robert Englund as Freddy. I thought that the remake was actually pretty good, considering I absolutely hate remakes for the most part. I mean, it's not Robert Englund, but I didn't really like Nightmare on Elm Street after part 4 anyway, so it fit. And Freddy vs. Jason was fun. I like it for what it is, but Freddy was pretty cheesy on that. And I think he only killed like one dude in that movie too, which was kind of boring, but that was pretty cool because it was like one of those movies where the monsters fight each other like they did in the old Universal movies. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about the documentary. And then I got Trauma Return to Nukem High Volume 1, so I gotta wait till Volume 2 comes out. Those movies are definitely not for anybody. I'm not recommending anything Trauma to anybody. That's definitely acquired taste, because if you recommend it and say it's a great movie and somebody watches that, they might think that you're sick in the head. But it's like independent, like grindhouse schlock kind of movie. Is it schlock or schlock? It just means it's real cheesy and kind of crappy, but on purpose. It's like a lot of gore, violence. Sometimes the nudity is a little bit excessive, but like the gore and violence and it's retarded, but there's usually like a political message at the same time. So like, I hate to use the word retarded. It's kind of silly. Retarded in that sense of terms, politically incorrect, and I'm trying to cater to a wide audience here. So if I offended anybody with that, I apologize. I better get up. Hopefully you'll get up to a save point. That's nice that you have notes. I'll check those out later. Doesn't this game know I'm filming? Crying out loud. Please have a diary or something that I could save it. But yeah, the Trauma movies are pretty nuts. You might know Trauma from the Toxic Avenger films, but if you've seen them on TV, you have not seen the Toxic Avenger films because they're heavily edited on TV. Like if you watch the unrated versions, like especially the first Toxic Avenger was extremely violent. But it's like in a satirical comic book kind of way. I don't know, but I'm pretty stoked about Return to Nukem High, and I'm pretty stoked about that Nightmare on Elm Street documentary because I watched it a long time ago. Long time, meaning 2 years ago maybe, and it was amazing. They like cover every movie till I think up to Freddy vs. Jason. I just don't think they get to the remake. And I'm gonna stop here instead of walking around in circles trying to look for a save point. I just want to save because this is kind of where I left off when I last played it, and I don't want to play this part again. So yeah, I'm excited about those movies. Anyway, Fatal Frame, awesome survival horror franchise if you're sick of Resident Evil. Kind of close to the Silent Hill kind of tone and the way it's creepy. But yeah, if you have a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox, like there's at least a Fatal Frame game on either system. I know for a fact PlayStation 2 has all 3 Fatal Frames. I can't remember which Fatal Frame games are on Xbox beside the second game, but all 3 Fatal Frames are also available for download on the PlayStation Network. I can't remember if there's a versions on the PC or not. I think at least for part 2, but don't quote me on the PC. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button and feel free to leave a comment, negative or positive, just be nice. And if you're new to this channel and you like this, feel free to check out the other channels. And if you're stoked even after that, there's a lovely box that says subscribe. Please click that and you'll be added to my subscribers, and I'll pollute your subscription mailbox thingamajig hopefully on a daily basis to the point where you'll get annoyed, but it'll be too late by then. I'll already have your subscription. Just don't unsubscribe. I shouldn't have told you that last part. But anyway, I definitely recommend this game for a survival horror game. Definitely fun. It's different. Probably not going to be for everybody, but you could probably judge from yourself from the gameplay footage you saw. Very atmospheric, new take on games. I haven't played a game besides Pokemon Snap where you take pictures as part of the gameplay to progress, but whatever. Anyway, I like this game so far, and I like the other Fatal Frame games. I would recommend any of them if you're into survival horror games, but you have to be used to the slower pace of a survival horror game. It's not going to be like Resident Evil 5 and 6 where it's like action all the time. Survival horror games, when they were newer, this is new-ish because it was after the original Resident Evil games, but I don't even know if Resident Evil 4 was out or this came out around the same time. I don't really remember when the third game came out on the Fatal Frame. I just remember 1 and 2, and this one wasn't covered as much. I don't think it was as popular as the other two, just because I think it came out when Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 were becoming more prominent in people's households. But yeah, this has my thumbs up. This isn't a review, but this is what I think initially, and based on what I played from the other games as well. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching, and take care, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.